Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today we are going to make a unique page in my Christmas journal. So I just roughly drew a 2.5-inch circle. Can you see it there? With a pencil. Now, it doesn't matter what size the circle is. It does not, because you're going to tear it out. Yes, I said tear. Don't get your panties in a twist because you're just going to rip it out. But I kind of wanted to know what size I needed because I want to put a little owl in there like that. Or maybe that one. I think she is precious. I wanted this one, but she wouldn't fit. So I'm going to use her later. But I needed to know what size to put in there. So now that I've got my window size, I'm going to turn my book sideways. And I'm going to fold my pages in half. And so that I don't rip everything, I'm just going to take a little snip with my scissors. Just like that. And I've cut through, I have 2 pages here. 2 pages, just like that. And I've just paper clipped them together. Okay. And I just snipped through them. And now, I'm just going to tear. And tear, you ask? Why, yes, I am. And I'm tearing because I don't want it to look neat and tidy. And I'm going to paper clip them like this so they're not wiggling and squiggling on me. Because I don't want it to be, a neat and tidy look. I want it to look all kind of schmucked up. Because you all know I like that schmucky look. So I'm just tearing it. But I want both pieces to kind of be the same. And they don't have to be exactly the same size. I could make it bigger. I could make it smaller. But that's what my pencil line is for. So that I can kind of sort of maybe keep it in the same area is the size that I want. So now that I've torn it, I can open it back up here and I can see if my little owl fits. And if he doesn't, I'm just going to fold it back in and I'm just going to tear some more. Now, I'm just putting my paper clips back on the edges because when I practiced, I can't talk today, you guys. Words are hard. It's windy outside, and I just had the boys out, and I think my mouth froze. I think it froze my lips in my brain. And I have a gardener friend of mine coming over to help me today at 3:30 and she actually is a gardener. She has a gardening business. And there, that might work. And she's going to help me. Oh, now see, that got really big. And that is no longer a circle. But my little owl does pretty well in there. Now, if you want, you can you can back this with something if you want, but I don't want to do that. I want my little owl to be suspended. And I think I might have 2 little owls. I spent yesterday watching Call the Midwife. Do you guys watch that show? I love that show. Drives my husband crazy. But I like that show. I cut out, I think, like a blue million little owls. Now, I could hang little tags. I could hang anything I wanted. So I'm looking to see if I have, oh, I do, but he's smaller. I was looking to see if I had something to hang back to back on these with this little guy. I thought I did. So So I'm just kind of quickly looking through here. Oh, here it is. Is he the same size? No, he's not, Lori. To back him. Let's see what we have here that might be the same size. I could do 2 tags. Let's see, are these 2 people the same size? These 2 little guys are the same size. So, since they're about the same size, I might glue them together. But let's see here. I have 2 tags that are the same size, of course. Let's see what little tags I have here. Oh, that little bunny is just freaking cute. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, no, that one's cute. And I could put that. I could back it and then put that little owl on the back. Oh, there's the other one I was looking for. Or is that the one I just had? It is. Lori, you're a ding-dong. See, all good plans of mice and men just kind of go. Now that's the little lady. I think that's how that saying goes, isn't it? Or how that goes. All right, so let's because I have the paper that goes with this. So let's oh, now that might be nice for the little guy. Where's that little bitty one at? I could put him on there. See, I thought I had this all figured out until I realized he was white on the back. And then he went, you know where, in the handbasket. All right, let me find him. All right, little man, where'd you go? Come on. Good golly, Miss Molly. Gosh, here I thought I had it all picked out. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I had all this picked out. Okay. Now, I'm just getting flustered. Now, where's the little bitty guy that we just had of him? There's little girly whirly. Get over there. All right, if you see him, yell at me. Tell me where he is. Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay, I'm going to pause this real quick and find him, so hold on. Okay, so I got everything sorted and I found what I was looking for. So these are my 3 or 4 bigger owls. There's actually 5 of them if you count the little princess here. And I think, plus there's all these little signs, I guess you could call them. Plus all the tags. Here's all the little tags. So I'm clipping them together here, so I don't have to go through all that craziness again. And then all these little circles. And they kind of all have a little partner. And except the one that I want to use, I can't seem to find the little partner for it. Now, I guess I could use any of them on here. And then there are miscellaneous larger pieces here. And this little guy is the cutest little guy. Oops. So I'm going to put these in my little bowl here. So I think what I have decided on is, so let's put these up here. Oops, let me get a hold of these here. Here's my page right here with the hole that we tore out. And as you can tell, it's kind of lopsided. And I'm going to go on and take my little finger thing here. And before I make my little final decision here, I'm going to go on and just very, very gently. Now, I'm holding the pages together as I do this. Now, you could use any, any color you wanted. And then I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to do it on the other page, this back page. Like that. Okay? So I've got it on the back page and on the front page. And I am using gathered twigs. So I can go on and put that away. Now I'm going to leave my gathered twigs out because I may use that again. So now I'm going to play with what I think I want to put in there. So this is what I think I want to put in there, and I want to put it right there. Now I want it suspended, and I want to use, now I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this. This is clear beading wire. Now, if you don't have clear beading wire, don't fret. You could use something like embroidery floss. You can use anything you want. You can use sewing thread. You can use anything you have. But I just happen to have this, and it sits in my stash, and I'm looking for something to put it against so that you might see it. Here, let's see if you can see it against this piece of red paper. I don't know if you can really, it's right, see this spool? It's right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've kind of got a curl of it there. That's what I want to use to suspend it with. And I want to suspend it in the circle, right there in the middle. Right there. And it's going to go from probably right about in here to right about in there. And both pieces are going to have a piece of this. And it's going to keep it, it's going to be between these pages. Okay, so it's going to be between these. And it's going to be back. So if I choose the rocking horse, the suspension thread's going to come down the middle, and it's going to stick out at the top and at the bottom. And then this would be glued into the circle like that. Okay. So I need something that's as close to the same size as possible so you don't see the white. That's the trouble I'm having, is I can't seem to find, now that one might be, let's see, maybe this way. Nope, that one's a little bit too big, which means the little squirrel might be a little bit too big. So I might have to just, choose a different one. So let's see about choosing a different one. Now the little squirrel's kind of fit together, but I don't really have them lined up well. So I really like the little owl, but I don't want the 25. So that was kind of how I... Now this one is blank and that one's a clock. And so I really do like that. So I could take my little tiny owl and put him on there. You know, like that. I could put him on there. You know what? Let's see if this one fits on it. Now, that almost fits. I would just have to trim it just a little bit to make it fit. And I could put my little owl on there. Or I could put the little guy on here. And I think, like that, I think there's a little tiny, oh, I think the squirrel's too big. Yeah. There's a little tiny squirrel right there. And I think there's a little teeny tiny pine cone that I cut out yesterday, right here, that I could put in his hand, like that. Now that's not too bad. I'd have to scoot him down a little bit. Now that's not bad. I could put him right there. And then put this one on the back. Okay, I think I might do that. Sorry, little man. All right, so let's get these out of our way. And let's see how this looks. Oops, I want you. So let's see how these look. So let's move this out of our way and let's see how these circles look. Okay, that's not too bad. I tore it a little bit too big, but that's not too bad. All right, so let's get this stuff inked up. Ooh, I had to get a new one because my other one just fell apart. Okay, and then before we glue them together, we'll make sure that they fit well. Now the hardest part of this whole project is deciding what you're going to put in there. Now, I think I'm going to need my little finger doody bop. Now let's hit the edge of this little thing here. And not losing it like I did. It was there. It was just all layered. All right, so let's do this little pine cone here. And come here, you. Okay. Now, let's go on and get him where we want him. Let's get everything glued onto the front here so we can be drying. Oh, good gracious. So let's get everything on here. Come on. Come on, Martha, straighten up. There we go. And then you can decorate your page after you have done this, of course, any way you choose. Now, my little pine cone only needs a little teeny tiny drop, but let's get this down here. Now, I think I'm going to try and use my tweezers here to get it where I need it. Okay. Since it is so tiny. Okay, come on. Straighten up and fly right here, dude. You know, my yard is full of pine cones. There. Right there. All right, so there he is. He is hanging out with a pine cone. All right, I'm going to take my sweater off here real quick. Okay. Now, let's go on and cover this up. Now, let's go on and get our thread here. Now, I'm not worried about cutting this too long because I can always trim it. And I would rather have it too long than too short because it's really hard to see. And actually, I'm going to use a Sharpie. So, come here. So I can see the ends. Okay, here. Now, I'm just moving my book out of the way here because I need to make sure I can see the middle of this. And I'm just marking a dot. And then I'm lining up my thread on that dot. Right there. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. Now let's make sure we get this one lined up. Now these circles are about 1.5 inches. Okay, so my circles have a dot on them. And I am going to, here, I'm going to put a dot on my thread so I can see it. Maybe if I can find the end of it. And maybe that will help you see it also. Can you see that orange? Can you see that orange tip? Right there against my blue sweater. That's the end of my thread. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to line that orange end up with my dot. And I'm going to put a orange end. I just need to find it again. There it is. Okay, so there's that piece. Okay. There's that piece. Uh-oh, don't come out of there. No, no, do not do that. Now, oh my goodness, not stuck to me. Okay, I don't even know if you can see, but I've got my glue running right through my orange dot, and I've got it running through here I know this is not easy, and I apologize, but my thread is going right through the top and the bottom. And I will show you here in just a moment. Now the important thing is to make sure that it's even, or right through the middle. And to make sure it's through the middle, you grab it like that. Oops, I'm sorry. You grab it and make sure that it, okay, right there. And then you squish it. Okay, so there's that one. There's that one. Oops, but they are not even. They're not lined up, I do not believe. Bottom. No, they are not. Oh, good gravy. Top. Top. Like that. Like that. That's the hardest part, is making sure that they are top to top. Okay. Top to top. Okay, good. Okay, I need to find my paper towel to wipe this off. Either that or get a baby wipe. And then I'll show you what I have done. Okay, now you have to, let me put the top on this and get everything wiped off here that I've done. Okay. Now let's get the top on that so I don't get stuff on it. Okay, so here are my threads. I'm holding it by the threads. And they're very long, but that's okay. So what I did was, I'm getting the hiccups. I am so sorry, you guys. I always get them when I record. I glued my thread on one side, right through the middle. Okay? That's what the dots were for. I glued my thread on one of them right through the middle. And then I put my glue all the way around that one. That's what you saw me do. Okay? Then I took the other one, and that's one of the hardest things, is making sure that you line up top to top. So here's the top of my squirrel and the top of this one. So now they're both going the right direction. And my thread is coming out the top and the bottom. To make sure your thread's coming out the top and the bottom, just hold it like this. And if it doesn't spin cattywampus, then you know you've got it going right. If it starts spinning cattywampus, then you know your thread's not straight. And you can fix it. Now, I know I didn't cut these out even because I can see it. So I can take my little scissors and I can trim that edge. Just don't cut your thread. And then I can go back like that. Now, my thread is still really long. Okay. Now, I can get my book. Oh, this is still kind of wet. Let's put this away. I don't need this anymore. Okay. I can get my book and I can put this in the center. And this center fold that I have right here, I need to open this up. Now, before I do anything else, I need to center this on the fold that I created here, like this. Okay? And only do it on one of them. Don't do it on both of them. So pick one and make sure that it's straight. Okay, so I think I want this one on this side. Now, you can either use double stick tape for this, or you can use glue for this. For this part of the project, I use double stick tape. It's just easier to hold down. Sometimes I even just use regular tape. And actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a regular piece of Scotch tape, and I am going to find where my straight line is, because I'm going to glue the page down, so it doesn't matter at this point because it's going to get glued still. Just a little teeny tiny piece. That's all I need. Just a little tiny piece just to hold it still, just like this. And I'm putting it down that fold. And then anything past my tape, I'm cutting off. So there's that piece. I'm not cutting it at the tape. I'm cutting it below the tape. Okay? Right here's my edge. And right here's my edge. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to cover this window and I'm going to cover this window. Okay? Because I want this protected. Oops, come back here, you. Oh, now see, this is already wiggled. Now, actually, I should have covered this first. Okay, so I need to take that off. So let's get this off of here. You know, see? That's what happens when I don't think. Now, I'm going to go on and... Okay, I have my... Can you see it here? I'm going to go on and cover... I think I want it this way. I have my transparency here. And I want a piece a little bit bigger than what's needed. But I need a piece that's going to be able to cover both of them. So I need a piece that can go here and can go here. So it can go there. And then over here, I'm going to cover this piece too. But I gotta take my little whip-de-doody off to do that. Now, I need something to mark that with. Again, I'm going back to my little Sharpie. So I'm gonna have to take my little thing off there. So I'm just making my little line. See my little orange line there? So I know where to cut. Oops, I bumped you again, didn't I? I'm sorry. Now make sure you cut this straight, because you need to make sure that you can cover your windows. Okay? Now, this is probably way more than what I need, but that's okay. Come here. I'm going to go on and take this off over here. But I'm leaving my tape on, and I'm just pulling it down. And if you don't have Scotch tape, just use washi tape. That'll work. Now this piece is a a little bit bigger than what I would normally use, but that's all right. I can trim it here. That you want to make sure that you've trimmed, that you've given yourself enough coverage on this. Okay, I can't see without light. You want to make sure that you've given yourself enough coverage with this. There we go. So that the whole window is covered like that. Now, normally I don't put it here. I put it on the paper. But since we're doing things different, okay. I cut it big enough that I know. There. Now, I can take this back up. Just like this. Now, let me get another piece of tape. To hold this straight. Okay, now I'm going to put my other piece of this over here. Now this piece is a little bit too big, so I can go on and cut it. Doesn't need to be this big. Okay. Okay, so I'll save those little scraps for, you know, other little windows that we make. Okay. Okay, so that's locked in there. So I'm going to take, now you can put these pages together either by double stick tape, you can use your favorite glue, you can use whatever you want. But you just need to be careful that you don't get any glue around your window or it's going to seep in and it's going to get a hold of that. So I always start up here at the top. I'm actually going to take this off for a minute. And I just go all the way across and I come all the way down and I'll go all the way across the bottom and all the way down the sides. Now, I will make an X at the bottom and I'll make a little lightweight X at the top. But that's all that I do on it. I don't do any more. And then I'll bring them up together like this. Just like this. And then anything that comes out, that seeps out, I make sure I get off quickly. Now I can lay down and I can push out. Now, any other decorations you want to make on the page, now's the time to do it. There. And there's your page. So you can decorate your page any way you want with any other decorations, Christmas decorations, any other, like papers, or let me get these out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. Any other papers, any other, well, I've lost the pen again. Oh, no, I didn't. There it is. I was going to say, you all knew I was going to do that. Any other papers, any other thing like that. Now's your time. You can do it. Or you can wait for it to dry, if you want, and do it. Now, on this one, I have this lovely little thing here. It says, "Stay warm and joyful," that I wanted to use. And I think I might use it. Now, I also have some paper that goes with this little collection. And I might, it goes like that. Let me get a hold of the page I was thinking of using here. There's a couple of them that I really, really like. Well, I like the whole collection that I was thinking of using. Right here, this page. Making a little pocket down here. Down here at the bottom. See, he's looking in through a window. So I was thinking of putting that and then putting that on top of it. And I'll show you the name of this collection here in just a minute. It is the cutest little collection. Let's see, I'm going about this the upside down. Oh, I'm turning this the wrong way too. Good gracious, Lori. This collection is by Stamperia, and it's called The Owl's House. And I got this. This is just, I think it's an 8x8. And I got this from Stampers Anonymous. No, that's not right. I'll think of it in a minute. Hold on a minute. PJ's just got me flustered, so hold on a minute. Let me think of it. I'll think of it in a minute. Yeah, 4 inches. He's been driving me crazy with this barking this week. Oh my gosh. I'm totally out of whack here. He's just got my brain just... His sight and his hearing is just... That's not the new one I just put on there. That one is. That one needs replaced too. What is the name of that site, that website? This one needs replaced too. Scrapbookers.com. Oh my gracious, PJ, you've got to stop, buddy. I got it from scrapbooking.com. Yeah, he did that yesterday for about 2 hours, and I tried to make a video. And after 3 tries, I gave it up. I said, enough is enough. Okay, so I want this up here. And I want it as a little tuck. So I think I'm just going to start at the point and come down. And he can't really see anything anymore. He hears, but he can't see. He can hear them, but that's about it. He can hear them. yeah, I tested his eyesight yesterday, and he can't see diddly squat. And his hearing's not very good either. And he thinks the neighbor's house is his. Okay, so I think I want to round these corners. They're a little bit too wet. I'm going to have to wait for them to dry. And then I want to round these corners a little bit. There we go. There is our page. And that's all I want to do to it. I don't want to add anything else to it. I just want this to be its main focal point. But I hope you guys have some fun and create one. It's fun to just be able to tear paper and say, yeah, I can tear paper and create something. It's just fun to do that. So I hope you guys take the opportunity to do that and create one of your own. Now, if you don't feel comfortable tearing, get out your paper punch and punch one. You can punch one. If you fold it and get out your 2 or 2.5 inch punch and punch at the fold, you're good to go. So do that. Go right ahead and do that. Now, I think I will take this around here a little bit. I do think I will take this around the edges a little bit. So I do have some more projects I want to put in my book, but I think right now I'm going to let this dry a little bit so I'm not getting glue all over everything, but I will get everything prepared for our next video. And until I see you then, I hope you have a super duper day. And when I see you in our next video, don't forget to like and share, because I'm still working on getting 1,000 subscribers between now and the end of the year. And then this lovely, lovely journal that we've been working on. Let me show you the cover. Right here. She has become a chunky little girl. This little journal will be given away. And I already know what her closure is going to be. And I've been thinking about a topper, and I think I know exactly what we're going to do for the topper. Now, we haven't done a flip through, and we're not going to yet. So I won't do the flip through, so nobody gets to see what everything looks like. You just have to guess. See, you get to see a few things peeking out, but that's all. So until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal video, ta-ta for now.